These are depraved war crimes by the looks of things. People being run over by tanks in the street, women being brutally raped, girls being brutally raped in front of their mothers, men with their hands tied behind their back getting shot in the back of the head. I mean, it's terrible stuff.
Yeah, I think what we're looking at is a rogue state here that has lost control of its army. Any honour the Russian army thought it had has been lost in Ukraine, and they're repeating some of the atrocities and obscenities that we saw between 1944 and 1948 in Germany. Something has to be done. This sort of thing can't happen in the heart of Europe without, I think, obviously somebody stopping it and also somebody having to pay the penalty for it in terms of justice.
Yeah, no, indeed, Chris, and it is going to be really, really difficult to actually bring any of these people to justice, though, because I was speaking to someone earlier today, and they said the burden of proof, and indeed the burden of proof when it comes to the personal identity of who you will before the Hague or whatever, is so high. It does seem as though it might be tricky for anyone to face justice for some of these atrocities that are taking place.
Well, we didn't hold that burden of proof at Nuremberg in 1945, and I think we can tell that either by commission or omission, the military and political leaders of Russia are responsible for this. And I think the burden of proof is a general one, not a specific one. They've unleashed this rabble that the Russian army calls it, which I would call the Russian army, on a civilized country. And I'm afraid to say they need to bear the burden for that responsibility and to pay the penalty.
Putin has often been referred to as, for want of a better phrase, really, almost like the best gangster that the world has ever seen. People talk about the extreme wealth of the likes of Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos doesn't own a landmass the size of Russia and does not own nuclear warheads, have a space program and a massive army. So what we're seeing now is almost like the way a gangster would act, isn't it? Send in some very lawless boys, basically, to go and loot a place, to torch it to the ground, to just cause massive, massive destruction. That's what we're seeing here, isn't it, really? The actions of a gangster.
Well, I think it's long been known that Russia is a mafia state. It's out of control now. Anybody that flourishes nuclear weapons around in support of a regional campaign doesn't deserve to be heading any sort of civilized state, and every Russian should hold his or her head in shame for what is being perpetrated and committed in their name.